Hey guys, Marvin here with Driven by Graphics. As you can see on my screen, I've got Versaworks up, and what I wanted to cover in this is how to actually load in media profiles. And so I just have the singular job. If I open it up, what I'm referring to is under this quality tab, and you have this media type, and these are the default ones. This is a brand new fresh install of Versaworks, and this is actually a newer version that I'm using on my production screen. Production machine rather, but by default it has all of these loaded in, and you can actually edit this list, and I'm going to show how to do that. So like I said, these are by default. I don't personally recommend using the generic vinyl ones, but some people do. In my opinion, it lays down too much ink, but I'll basically show how to do that. So you go up here into this media menu and Media Explorer, and then these are all of those same exact ones. And so if you know, for example, you're not going to use a bunch of these, you can actually turn them off by just deselecting a little eye here that makes them visible. And then I'll actually also show. So let me just click OK here, and we'll come back to that in a moment. So this is going to say, hey, it's going to edit those print cues themselves, obviously, because I just disabled them. So I'm going to click yes to apply. And ultimately, if you're trying to print on something, I had a question the other day from someone related to printing on banner material. And that banner material was not in that list. And so if you just do a Google search for Roland Profile Center, you should end up finding this website, this URL, rolandprofilecenter.us. I've already logged in, but you can, right in this area, when you're not logged in, it has an option there to create an account. There's a free account to register. And then you just go through and you pick your particular printer. And so I have the SP540i. What sort of ink setup you have. The RIP manufacturer that's what software you're actually using. And so we're using Versaworks, but there's third-party options, Caldera, Onyx, and whatnot, that you can use well. But we're using Roland Versaworks. And I'm using a 6.x version as of right now. It's what's on this machine. 7.x is currently available. And then which, media manufacturer you have, who made the media that you're actually printing on. This can get pretty specific in some cases in terms of like your Orful, your 3M, Avery, so on and so forth, of like, what the brand of media, who actually manufactured it. And there may be specific color profiles and media profiles for the exact media you're looking for. And if that's the case, then I would definitely recommend you try those out. Like in list here is alphabetized, and then starting with numbers first. The 3M ones come up. For right now, I'm going to click on, I can't remember between the DG generic, there's none in there. So I'm going to look under the DGA option here. And there's quite a few here between clear, static, clean. You see the kind of list here. But this is the one that I like to use a lot for banner material, this lightweight banner vinyl. And so I'm going to click here on more information. And you see there's 3 options here. We'll see how this goes. But in the past, I have not found a difference when you add these to queue. Because they're all for the same media type, typically I've always seen, even if you just add one, they all add. But if you look closely, the only difference here is between 18 pass, 6 pass, and 10 pass. And that ends up being the quality options within the profile. And I'll show you that in a minute as well. So let me hit download queue. And download queue here. Wait a second. Now my files are ready. Click here to start the download. I'm going to save those into this Documents and Versaworks demo video that I'm making right now. So it's went ahead and saved those. I'm going to open that folder. This is that color file that I've got there. And then I'm going to extract all. I just right-clicked on that folder because it's a zipped file. And I'm just going to extract them into that folder, which is here, and I'm just going to go ahead and delete this one out. I don't need it anymore. Yes, I'm sure. And now this, you see here, that's a long file name. This is the actual profile, media profile, and then this is a how to download and import it user guide, which If you read that, you probably would not need to be watching this video, because I'm going over exactly what's kind of in those instructions. So back over here in Versaworks, oh, that's a tool, I need that. And go back to the Media Explorer. And then now in here, what I'm looking for is this load from file, because we're going to load that media profile that we just downloaded. I'm going to hit open, and then it found it right there, lightweight banner vinyl, and then you see all the columns there that it gives you. You're just going to click OK, and then now here it's at the bottom, and obviously that's turned on. I do want it on, and again I can go through and deselect more of these because I don't necessarily want them on my list. It won't let you actually deselect this very top one, the generic vinyl one. It will not let you turn that off. At least I haven't found a way to do that. Let me click OK here, click yes. Now if I go back into my file and into the quality menu, you do see the generic vinyl one here is been selected by default. That's the top one in the row. And now I have my banner vinyl loaded there, and that's the only other one. So I don't have to sort through all those other ones. And as you build out your own kind of media library, if you will, with different adhesive vinyls, if you have matte vinyl, glossy vinyl, photo papers, and just other medias, you can build that list out, and then ultimately assign those, if you will. In some cases, this is the way I do it. My print queues here, I build those out where one of these is for banner material, for example. So all jobs that I load into B for banner, the QB here, that those would already have that media profile applied to that. And I'll just cover real quickly how to do exactly that. So this is all default because this is a fresh install. But if you go here to edit and then queue settings, and then pick whichever one you want to go with. I'm going to do QB, like I mentioned, B for banner, makes it easy. Within this window here, anything that you set in here, when you load a new file in, it applies these things by default. And so let's say, for example, you want to center your graphic on the media itself, so it prints in the middle of the page there. My quality, like I said, I'm going to put it on the lightweight banner. And then, like I mentioned earlier, all three of these are available, and then you can see the different resolutions, and obviously related to, I was going to say times, but the times aren't shown here because it's not, this is the properties of, not the actual file settings. I'll show that in a minute. Maybe by default we just want it to be on standard, for example. You can change any of these settings and then have them applied. Let's do True Color 3, and have any of this stuff automatically applied to your job as you print. Maybe you want to minimize your page spacing. I want to use my media settings themselves for the heat because we're using that in quality. And here we're print only, and we should be good otherwise. So let's click OK. Then apply that, and then so now here in this banner queue, let's minimize this, and I'm just going to drag this file into my QB, drop it in, and now when we double click on this, you'll see that it's centered within the page. The quality is already on banner, and you can see that this is where I was going to say a while ago that you could see the times there. So it's basically going to take double the amount of time to do those additional passes to get a higher quality, higher resolution print. And so on and so forth. So those things are already set because I set them in that in those queue preferences. And so you can do that. For example, A you can have for like adhesive vinyl, B for banner vinyl, or banner material rather. I guess it is vinyl. If you do heat press, heat transfer vinyl, that could be in one, and so on and so forth. And you can kind of set these up and you can configure them. And that's kind of the beauty of having the different queues and being able to set those up for different medias, for different settings, and have that so you don't necessarily have to go into each individual file and change a bunch of settings each time that you load something in. So hopefully that helps in terms of the Media Explorer and loading the different profiles, media profiles in here, minimizing that list so only the ones you need show up, and then And then I'll also cover, like I said, on the Q settings themselves, how to change those. And you can actually go here. Oops, wrong button. Here, it gives you a pencil when you go over the B, and you can rename this. So you can make it banner or adhesive, whatever you want. So it makes sense to you instead of just having the Q stuff in there. So hopefully this helps, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or message me, email, and I'll try to get back with you. Any questions you have. Thanks so much. Take care.